Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today we're going to break down two big cards happening on Saturday, and that is in the boxing arena. We've got Saul Canelo Alvarez taking on John Ryder in a super middleweight fight, and then on the mixed martial arts side, we've got a UFC 288, which is Aljamain Sterling defending his bantamweight title versus Henry Triple C Cejudo. I'm going to start with Canelo-Ryder, go back in the UFC. Also going to talk about Gilbert Burns versus Belal Muhammad, which is a very good fight. So let's get into it. Basically, Cinco de Mayo means Canelo's fighting. Mexican Independence Day in September, Canelo's fighting. So today, he's going to be fighting John Ryder, who is on sort of a hot streak. He's been winning his last few fights. He actually upset Daniel Jacobs within the last year. So in essence, he's working his way up to the top of the super middleweight division. And currently the man at the top is Canelo. So with this one, you know, talking to Rob and seeing how he feels, how I feel, neither one of us really see this as being competitive as long as Canelo feels like it's not going to be competitive. Ryder is a sturdy guy. He can get in there and rough it up, but he doesn't have the speed or the offensive flexibility that someone like a Dimitri Bivol has, or even a Daniel Jacobs that, you know, Canelo also defeated. But also, he doesn't have like that size advantage. That's something that Bivol had. I know, you know, that is, you know, Canelo's most recent loss. And a lot of talk is going to come from how he bounces back from that and what he does, you know, post Bivol. And in this one, I think that Canelo we'll see the normal Canelo. He's going to walk forward. He's going to be slick. He's going to slip punches. He's going to roll with punches. He's going to throw really hard. But I don't think it's going to be enough to get Ryder out of there. He's going to land the more significant punches. He's going to land the more judge-friendly punches. And that's going to carry him to a decision victory. Ryder is going to be tough. He's going to hang in there as best he can. But I do think he survives because unless, you know, he's like I wouldn't even say a lower level guy, because Canelo stopped some pretty big pedigree fighters. But Ryder doesn't seem like he would wilt to the pressure of Canelo. If it does, it'll be after the 10th round, in my opinion. But he will be beaten to the punch on multiple occasions and soundly defeated. So let's talk about UFC 288. And before we get into the title fight, we've got a great eliminator for the 170-pound division, currently ruled by Leon Edwards, with Belal Muhammad taking on Gilbert Burns. Both of these guys are highly deserving of a title shot. And putting the two of them together is a great idea on the part of the UFC. Something that, you know, we really don't say too often these days, but it is a great idea. You got Muhammad, who's on a crazy win streak. Burns, who's just turned into great performances after losing to Hamza Chimaev. And both guys are demanding that they have a title shot, or at least be put in a fight that would get them close to the title. And here we are. Burns has excellent jiu-jitsu, underrated striking, but I think Muhammad's is a little bit better as far as the striking department. He's a little bit more dynamic. I think Burns might have a little bit more power in the striking department, but I think this one may come down to the wrestling ability. And wrestling and jiu-jitsu are two different things. So while they can complement each other, they're not mutually exclusive. Whereas, like, if you're good at jiu-jitsu, you're good at wrestling, and vice versa. So I think on that note, Muhammad has slightly better wrestling. So if he can utilize that in the midst of a slightly better striking game, I think he can pull out this victory. Burns has the advantage in the jiu-jitsu and the power department. So he could hit Muhammad with something that could hurt him, and then he could finish him in that manner. With that being said, I do think Muhammad is a little bit more defensively sound, which leads to him pulling out this victory and putting that stamp on his legitimacy towards having a title fight beyond the person that they're aching to give the title shot to. But we're not going to get into that. So, main event. Now, this one right here, Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo, been going back and forth on this one for a long time. We got two really good wrestlers, one Olympic gold medalist wrestler in Henry Cejudo, and one who has shown in the MMA world that his wrestling is top-notch in Aljamain Sterling. They are two different things. While, you know, they're both wrestling is in a different sport, and there are different rules and different things apply to wrestling in MMA versus wrestling in the Olympics. One of them involves punching. However, Cejudo has shown that he has an immense fight IQ, not only in his own fights. Like, check the growth that he had from his loss to Demetrius Johnson to the rematch, and then his fights after that before he, I guess, had a retirement, so to speak, after beating Dominic Cruz. The fighters that he's worked with since then and the things that he's picked up, this man knows a lot, and he knows how to execute what he knows. Sterling, on the other hand, has been active. He's sharp, and he also knows how to implement what he can do. I wouldn't say his fight IQ is as high. However, he knows how to execute his game plan and utilize his strengths to a point where he can compete with Cejudo in this match, where I think that there may be a question mark, even for both guys, is going to be the gas tank. Now, we've seen Sterling fade tremendously versus Peter Yan in his first fight. Second fight, he was able to temper it a little bit better. He did much better with his wrestling in that second fight. The adjustments he made to begin to control Yan really helped with his stamina in that fight. We didn't get much in the Dillashaw fight because he finished him in the second round and was also able to wrestle him to death before finishing him. Cejudo's going to make him work for those takedowns. And this is where we can see if his conditioning has improved to the point to where we don't see that tremendous fade that we saw against Yan. If we don't see that, we're looking at a really close fight. If we do see that, Cejudo's going to take it in the later rounds. And to be honest, I still haven't made a decision on how that is going to happen. What do you think? Hit us up in the comment section. Let us know who you think is going to win. Twisting my arm. I think I'm going to go with Triple C. I think he'll be just smart enough to pull out some rounds and win on the scorecards in a very close fight. So like I said, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think. What skills do you think that these fighters are going to bring to the table to complement what we talked about, or maybe something to add to what we talked about? Just let's start a discussion in the comment section. Talk about these fights, how you feel they're going to go, who you think is going to win, and we'll love to see it. We will be watching and hopefully get a recap of the fight after it comes out. In case you guys haven't noticed, it's been a little difficult for us to get videos out lately, but we appreciate you when you do stop by and watch them when we do put them out. So thank you all to those who are still watching and still rocking with Rob and I. We appreciate it greatly. So that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you hit us up on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Capital of Combat. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and hit the bell icon when you get our updates. We're going to try to, be a lot more frequent with these. We're working on that. Share this with your friends, your fight friends, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, fight on.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick ground, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.